The Titans made a whole bunch of signings on day one of free agency. Day two? Well, it's been a little quiet. But when you make 9 signings, you kind of expect the Titans to be a little quiet and make sure they know exactly who they're getting. So on today's show of Titans Today by Chat Sports, and I'm your host, Brett Alper, we're looking at the remaining free agents that the Titans could sign pretty much now after day 2 of NFL free agency. We're recording this at about 6:30 p.m. Before we get into it, I just want to give you guys a little recap of what the Titans have done because there are a lot of moves. We know they traded to Andre Sweat for edge rusher Jermaine Johnson. They gave Mitchell Trubisky a 2-year deal. Daniel Bellinger, 3 years, $24 million. I think that's an overpay, to be honest. Wan'Dale Robinson, the writing was on the wall. 4 years, $78 million with $38 guarantee. John Franklin Myers, coming over from the Denver Broncos, also played with Robert Saleh when he was with the Jets. Cardell Flott, Alontae Taylor, and Austin Schlottman, 2 years for $9 million. A lot of signings here on free agency for the first 2 days. And then also 2 signings that came pretty much at the end of the day. Cordell Volson, your guard, and Joshua Williams at cornerback. These are okay signings. I don't see them pretty much getting fully into the rotation like some of the other guys like Flott, like John Franklin Myers, and of course Wan'Dale Robinson. But there are still more signings to be made. The Titans have still a ton of cap space, and that's why you subscribe to the channel, because they are going to be making signings. Stay up to date with NFL free agency. Stay up to date with all the Titans news and rumors and all of the moves that they make. We also hit our goal of 12,000 subs. So shout out to y'all. Hit that sub button right now. I will still say, even though you made 9 signings, the Titans still have many holes to fit on this team. This is one of the worst teams in football last season. And you had to go out and spend a ton of money to get better, but at the same time, you want to fill every single hole of your offense. And I have five positions that I still think need some work as we get closer and closer. And you could go with these five needs in either free agency or the NFL draft. Like kicker, punter, I'm not going to show you guys kicker and punter targets. You can go get that in the NFL draft. Running back, well, it's pretty much rumored that Jeremiah Love is going to be a Tennessee Titan. So center, guard, linebacker, and then, of course, one extra one I think could add some depth to this roster. Let's get into it. And the first one is a guard, and I'm looking at Joel Bitonio. I think he is the best free agent that is on the market right now, and you need that guard position. He's getting up there in age, but what was one of the worst things for the Titans last season? You went out there and got Cam Ward weapons, but what are you going to do about protecting the quarterback? You cut Lloyd Cushenberry, and you also have lost Kevin Zeitler in free agency. Well, you can re-sign him, but he is a free agent. But Joel Bitonio would be a perfect spot as a guard, 6'4", 320. And in 2025, he played tremendous. Played over 1,000 snaps at his age, and his PFF grade 71.5, the pass blocking grade 75.1, and the run block of 64.8. Only 1 sack allowed by the guard. 0 penalties. He plays disciplined football. And when you currently look at just the O-line depth chart, and you have Dan Moore Jr., you have Peter Skoronski there. Austin Schlottman is currently your starting center because you don't have anybody else. And also Jackson Slater, the guy that was pretty much on the practice squad the whole entire year, is your right guard. And then you'd have J.C. Latham at right tackle. I'm signing Bitonio right now. I don't think it's going to cost that much because of his age. You're probably going to get around the same exact deal that you signed Zeitler to last season. If you want to go with the route with an experienced vet that is going to play solid, have that bridge guy, and then get someone in the draft, this is the perfect signing for the Titans. The next guy on my list, I know probably thinking, but Brett, we got Jauan Jennings. We have a whole bunch of guys at receiver. Well, you can never go wrong with too many receivers on this team. And right now, Jauan Jennings is the top receiver because Romeo Doubs left and he went to the New England Patriots. And you saw that Alec Pierce got the absolute bag. And receivers, they're getting paid. But Jauan Jennings would be a solid player for this team. And you see that right there. 6'3", 212 pounds. And we'll get into it in a second why I think the Titans need to sign him. He's a touchdown machine. His last 2 seasons, he's scored 15. He's getting the end zone 15 times, only 7 drops. And in 2024, he had a better season of 975 yards. But in 2025, still solid, 55, 643. But you have to address still with the wide receiver position because Calvin Ridley most likely is going to get released. You signed Wandell to a huge contract. You have Jahmyr DK. You have Okereke Manor. But behind that, you have Bryce Oliver, Mason Kinsey, and also Xavier Restrepo. Is Calvin Ridley going to get cut? The Titans can save a bunch of money if they release Ridley. And if you release Ridley, well, then you have to go out and get another wide receiver, whether that be in free agency or the draft, because there are a lot of free agents in this upcoming draft class that you could get, but you can also get a solid piece, a guy that can find the end zone almost every drive in Jauan Jennings. So I'll ask you guys this question. Will Calvin Ridley be released before next season? He could be right now or a post-June 1 cut. You make the decision. Let me know down in the comment section. Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. On the back half of the show, I got 2 more free agent targets for you as we get deeper and deeper into free agency. But before we do that, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. Shoot your shot on PrizePicks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right. PrizePicks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5. PrizePicks makes every dunk, every dime, every board that much more exciting. So don't miss the chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks. PrizePicks is simple to play. You just pick you pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you can cash in. Guys, it takes literally 30 seconds, and you can mix and match in sports. If you want to go basketball, if you want to go baseball, if you want to go motorsports like I do, you can do it right here on PrizePicks. But you got to download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. All right, the next guy on my list is a linebacker, and he is a free agent. And with the trend that the Titans are having right now, I'm signing Bobby Okereke because why? He's a talented linebacker, and you know what? Why not sign more New York Giants? You signed Wan'Dale Robinson, you signed Daniel Bellinger, and you signed Austin Schlottman. That's 3 Giants right there. Why not 4? Because he was a very, very, very talented guy on the roster. He is at the end of 20s. He's 29 years old. He was released by the New York Giants on March 4th, but still coming in from the 2019 NFL draft, 6'2", 235 pounds. He still has something left in the tank, and I think the Giants just wanted to get some cap savings on there. But if you look at his last 4 seasons, this isn't what you get with the Titans. You haven't gotten this with the Titans in a long while. 143 tackles, 6 pass breakups, 1 sack. Oh, the year before 93, the year before 149, and 151. You are trying to find that guy that can play next to Cody Barton. Because right now, if the Titans linebacker depth chart, that is the one thing that they have not addressed in free agency yet. Who is going to play next to Cody Barton? Cedric Gray played a solid season, but James Williams behind him? Cedric Gray was solid, but if you can get an upgrade from Okereke, I think that would be perfect for the Tennessee Titans. And at this point, man, go out and get all the Giants because the relationship with Brian Daboll clearly, and I mean clearly, runs deep, and I don't think it's going to cost that much. The last one, staying with the offensive line, you need a center because Schlottman has been a career backup his whole entire life. And I go with Ethan Pocic, the center from the Cleveland Browns who played with Cleveland last season. The Titans need a center. You cut Lloyd Cushenberry. He failed a physical, so you said, all right, we're getting rid of you. We did sign you to a big contract in 2024. It did not work out, so we're going to go and release you, and we're just going to move our separate ways. I thought maybe they would go out and try to get Tyler Linderbaum, but he was getting paid way too much. So what's the next option? Find somebody in free agency. And Pocic is a pretty solid player on the team that can play center. In 2025, 13 games played, and PFF grades, they're solid. You didn't get much from Cushenberry. He was also hurt half the year, and you had to go with Corey Levin. You have 63.8 overall grade, 62, 63 run block and pass blocking grade, but only 2 sacks allowed, 2 penalties on 826 snaps. I think he'd be a solid guy that you could go and get in free agency, but more likely, I think the Titans might try and go look at the NFL draft. I think they can go for that route. You could find somebody in the second or third round that you can play at the center position rather than go and spend your money on somebody that's just average at best. What is the Titans' biggest need? You let me know down in the comments section. I think that they have to add a center, add an offensive lineman, whether that be a center or a guard, and also add a linebacker. So you guys, let me know down in the comments section below. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that sub button. We hit 12,000 subscribers, and why is that? Because we give you guys the content all the time. So if you want to stay up to date, know about every single Titan signing, go hit that sub button right now. And as always, tighten up.